Cool. So my name is Clement Ho. I'm a Frontend Engineering Manager here at GitLab. And I have Sid here, the CEO of GitLab. And yeah, during the last few weeks, I was at the CEO Shadow program, and Sid mentioned just having this experience where um, he was so stressed that he wasn't able to kind of walk. And so I wanted to learn more about it. Um, Sid, can you share more about that experience?
Yeah. Um, well, the experience was that things got a bit out of hand. I think I'm not sure which order it happened in, but I've always since like playing back with a laptop when I was much younger. I've been susceptible to repetitive strain injury in my wrists, and what I do to cope with is I have two different mouses, and I try to go running every once in a while. That keeps it under control. Um, but it got really bad at a certain point, so bad that I couldn't hold hands with my wife anymore when we were taking a walk. And then also, I was sitting behind the computer, super cramped, like this, with the shoulders higher. And over time, over the course of many weeks, that took a toll. And I couldn't move my neck anymore. So when I had to look left and right, I had to move like a robot. And then to top it off, I was also not walking a lot because I work from home, and I took taxis to dinner. Um, and there's a condition where the soles of your feet kind of stop forgetting that they're feet, and basically your stamina on your feet is like you're walking on your hands, like 100 yards, and then you kind of basically spend your budget, and your feet start hurting, and you can't continue. So kind of over a stressful time, and it was a stressful time because I had to let someone go, someone who was motivated and willing and skilled and rational, but still wasn't working out. We weren't getting the results we needed. So that's a super bad situation, primarily for the other person, but I was also super stressed about it because you don't want that for anybody. And these things started happening and kind of kept getting worse. And when all three of them were in effect, I was like, "Whoa, what's the next ball that's going to drop?" Because this is getting pretty serious. And then I try to take a bit more time off and try to relax a bit more and try to stop with the destructive behavior. So I started taking slightly longer walks every time I could and pushed myself, making sure that my shoulders were down, making sure I wasn't spending any mouse time too much, and trying a few other input devices. And over time, I recovered all of them, but it was pretty scary.
Yeah, that sounds like a tough experience. And thanks for sharing kind of your process and that journey. Kind of looking back, I know that you mentioned you started walking more and so forth. Looking back, what would you kind of wish you have done differently if you could kind of go back in time and kind of tell yourself some advice?
Yeah, so walk more. Right now, I make sure that uh, if I have an appointment at a restaurant, I make sure that I look up beforehand how long it is, and I make sure that I'm on time out the door so I can walk there and not go by car, even if it's half an hour. Um, yeah, don't change your posture. So make sure to pay attention, but also make sure to like don't um, yeah, recognize that there's going to be stuff that's not good in the company, and I try my best, but I'm I'm responsible for what I do and how I treat people. I'm not solely responsible for the success of the company. If the company's not successful, it will reflect on me, and I might get fired and other things. But like it's in the end, you do what you can, but it's not helpful to kind of beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, as we work all remotely and as we continue to scale, um, unfortunately, I feel like it's quite possible that other team members might also encounter similar situations. What advice would you give them?
Yeah, I think one of the most important things is to not work crazy hours. Um, for sure, make sure you get your 8 hours of sleep, but also create boundaries where you stop working at 6 o'clock, put your phone on, do not disturb, and things like that. I think that's helpful. You can't be on all the time. Um, there's more things. We got lots of tips and tricks, and something that helped me when I was having more of the repetitive strain injury is micro breaks. You get a reminder every 2.5 minutes to kind of lower your arms and get out of that position. That helped many years ago when that was super serious.
What advice would you give to team members who want to be an ally to help others that if they notice someone else in these kind of potential situations?
Yeah, I think we've created a culture at GitLab where it's okay to talk about physical health, but also mental health. And I appreciate you doing this. Like no one is immune to health issues, and we should make sure that we recognize that we're people, not robots. Although you might look like a robot when your neck is locked up. But I went to the massage place, and she said, "Okay, well, look left and right for me." And I like do this, and she's like, "No, try to look as far left and as far right as you can." I'm like, "That's what I'm doing." Um, anyway, yeah, for people being allies, like I think the most important thing is that we always we never gloss over any health concerns, and that you don't have to give a reason. Like you don't. We have a no ask, pay time off policy. And, I think not questioning people, but when they take time off, but also encouraging them to take care of themselves and their significant others and their friends and their family is really important.
Cool. Well, thanks for sharing your story and kind of your thoughts. Very helpful, and I hope encourages our team to be more mindful and help one another.
Me too. Thank you so much.